Hi.
Hi.
We all,
Hello.
I have to laugh because we always start like with a little giggle because we we meet here first. It's like, what are we going to talk
Right.
about? Okay, this is great.
And then, and it's
Don't
like,
talk
oh,
about that.
hi.
Don't talk about family.
We should do this like, oh, there you are. Surprise. There you are. You're there in front of me. It's
Yeah.
funny.
So
Yeah.
this is, our we declare it as our last episode for season 4.
Yeah.
This is episode 11.
Yeah.
And we're right the first week of December.
We are the
And
first week
we're
of December.
yeah, like
Yeah.
so we're into the holiday events, like personally and professionally.
Mm-hmm.
Today I attended an event with the NLO, which is Newfoundland Labrador Women Entrepreneurs,
Mm-hmm.
and lovely event. It was at a ski chalet, the Nordic ski chalet.
That's nice.
Yeah, and it was all women. There was one man there, and I think it was because his business sponsored it or something.
We got an ally there. An ally's welcome. Yeah, why
Yeah.
not? Why
Yeah,
not?
so it was a part like it was central Newfoundland. So I'm used to the east coast of Newfoundland for events in St. John's. So it was a different crew, I should say.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
different personality, believe it or not. But we even have different personalities here, in different regions of
Mm-hmm.
Newfoundland.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I felt very because I'm opening up, this new holistic hub here in Newfoundland. I don't mind declaring that the health and
Mm-hmm.
wellness destination
Yeah.
center here, working towards that. And yeah, so I love being in, those conversations of what's possible and
Yeah.
connecting and networking and meeting new people and seeing what they're up to and all that excitement,
Yeah.
right? Around
Yeah.
Christmas. And I won $50.
That's even better. Like that's great. So I was in an International Coaching Federation Virginia chapter meeting, and we did speed networking, and then we did topics, and you could pick a topic, and the topic I picked was networking.
Mm.
And the conversation was fascinating because almost all of the people that were at our table identified as introverted and talked about how they like the conversation, they don't like the walking into the room and not knowing anybody and how am I going to get into a conversation. And you and I were just talking about the word belonging, and it came up in that conversation today about when you walk into a holiday event, whether it's personal or professional, when you walk into a room full of people and they're all busy chatting with each other,
Hmm.
I think there's something very visceral, and the little kid in you that didn't know who was going to play with them on the playground kind of thing shows up, and
Mm.
you start to self-identify as not belonging just because you don't know how you're going to belong in that moment. And then somebody invites you into a conversation, or you run into somebody or something starts to change that. But I think this time of year, because of all the narrative about family and holidays,
Hmm.
belonging is a huge topic because some people feel lonely in a crowd.
Yeah.
They go to a family event and they're very aware that they don't feel a sense of belonging, or it can heighten your sense of belonging. You seek out people that maybe you don't spend enough time with the rest of the year, and you're aware of that belonging. So I think it's the topic of the season in a lot of ways.
Mm. Well,
You know,
I
you're
actually I felt that because I was an Enlo member back in 2005 when I started my coaching
hmm
business.
hmm
And then when I went internationally, I didn't continue the membership, and now I'm back
right.
again. So there's a lot of changes have happened. And like I said, I was, working at the east coast of Newfoundland at the time, which is a different personality, different dynamic compared
Yeah.
to Central. So I did have that feeling. I was
Yeah.
actually one of the last people that came in to the event,
hmm
and
hmm
I felt a bit funny because I didn't know
Yeah.
anybody,
It's like that's
right?
always hard. Like, and everybody's already clumped up in these little groups, and you're like, who am
Yes.
I going to talk
Yeah.
to? And um,
Yeah. Yeah.
started to see faces that I recognized. But then,
But like I had to go. Everyone was sat down like at the round tables,
yeah,
and I went up and I said, "Can I sit here?" And when I sat down, after the conversations that we were having, it was like, "Oh my goodness, this is where I'm supposed to be, where
yeah,
I'm belonging."
yeah.
Because the questions that I had, um, that I haven't answered yet with this new business
Hmm.
startup.
Hmm.
The people that were sitting at my table were were there to answer them
Yeah,
for me.
yeah,
So it was
yeah.
great. And then I won the door prize, right? The door prize,
I
was
love it.
$50, a shopping spree in one of the malls, shopping malls.
Nice.
So
Have
I could
fun with
pick
that.
whatever store, right?
Oh, that's cool. That is fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So it was like, oh wow, it's like
Intense belonging because they gave you a present.
yes.
Gave you a present. Well,
Yeah.
and again, I think like so many things, belonging, how we define it and how we experience it has a lot to do with the rules we hold about it. What is it?
Mhm.
What's necessary for you to feel like you belong? What's necessary for you? So with holidays and with all the heightened cultural expectation about your family's going to get together and it's going to be, um, do you guys talk about Norman Rockwell in Canada? Because he's such an American painter. So there was this painter, Norman Rockwell. Are you familiar with Norman Rockwell?
A little bit.
Yeah, and he did covers for this magazine called the Saturday Evening Post, and they were just this slice of Americana, and he became sort of known for capturing mid-century Americana, which is beautiful, and it creates a lot of pressure. If your family isn't all sitting perfectly around the table and grandma and grandpa are carving the turkey and for Thanksgiving here in the US, which was last week, um, I talked to so many people who had different versions of that holiday, the American Thanksgiving holiday, the U.S. American Thanksgiving holiday, and not the Canadian American Thanksgiving holiday. Because when is Thanksgiving in Canada? It's earlier, isn't it?
It's a month before. It's in
Yeah,
October,
in
like the
October.
second
Yeah,
week around the 12th or something
yeah.
like that. But I notice, that America celebrates Thanksgiving. It's a very special day.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
not
it's a
just
big
because
deal.
it's a
It's a
big
big
deal.
deal.
Yeah,
Hmm.
even more than Christmas.
I think so because it's you don't have to worry about your religious affiliation or it's just everybody's American, not everybody is celebrating Christmas. Um, it's a big deal, and but at the same time, it creates pressure on people. So, like, I cooked on instead of Thursday. I just didn't have it in me to do it, and it was just the four of us, my mother-in-law and my husband and my son and I. So I cooked on Saturday.
Mm,
And the only disadvantage was my son had less days to eat cranberry sauce. So I made the cranberry sauce early so that he could start on the cranberry sauce early, whatever.
yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
people who they have a thing now called Friendsgiving here,
Mm.
where you go and have Thanksgiving with your friends, with your family of choice, right? So all of that to say, from here to the end of the year, there are a lot of moments that can create a lot of pressure in people's lives
Mm.
to fulfill expectations,
Mm.
and they can highlight gaps. There's been a lot of talk recently about young people going no contact with their families, with their parents. And so there's a lot of,
Mm.
maybe sorrow. There's a lot of different things going on for people. And to me, the question is like last year, we didn't get any of the decorations down from the attic except the tree.
Mm.
And I handmade some fun little ornaments. I made little wooden mushrooms. They're so cute. Little red cap mushrooms, little white dots on them. And I made some folded paper stars, and we got some Scandinavian straw ornaments on Amazon. And
Mm.
that was all that was on the tree. And it was so peaceful to not have to dig around in the attic and find all the decorations and put everything out and worry about the cats eating things. And So this year, same thing. My son and I brought that one box of decorations and the tree down, and it it's more festive with less decoration for me
Mm.
right now. And so, like, you have, how do you find your place of celebration?
That's
Independent of
a great
expectation,
question.
independent of other people messing with you. How do you find your place of celebration?
Yeah. I've actually I've spent a couple Christmases, by myself,
Mm-hmm.
and it was actually very peaceful for
Mm-hmm.
me. And one of the Christmases I volunteered at a church, and we had a turkey dinner and everything that Christmas Day. And I was serving, and
Oh, I like that.
I know it was one of the best Christmases I ever had. So in answering your question, right, this
Yeah.
celebration.
Yeah.
Um, but I was looking at part of our learning and action calls, right, with Newfield,
Mm-hmm.
um, like our
Mm-hmm.
Newfield grads.
Yeah.
Um, One of the questions was, what does a lack of belonging create in our lives and in our work?
Yeah.
And I'm feeling that lack of belonging.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it creates, for me, frustration. And
Mm.
under the frustration, we talk about our emotions, it's sadness,
Yeah.
and I'm sad that I'm experiencing what I'm experiencing,
Yeah.
because it's not necessary.
Mm.
We don't have to be like this. I think people don't realize that they choose
Yeah.
to be like this, right? And
Karen, who we talked to earlier in the season, when she was talking about committed to having a joyful, to living a joyful life, right?
yeah, yeah,
If you're going to commit to it, it's because you understand that you have a choice.
yeah. So if I'm, in a lack, feeling that lack, right, of belonging, with, on a personal level, um, I just declared what I need to do,
Yeah.
right? By acknowledging, like this is how I feel, but I want to create joy
Mm.
and shift that energy in me,
Hmm.
and we can all do that.
When I'm working with my bodywork practitioner, it's based on um, Alexander technique and the work of a man named Mio Morales, and we talk about we ask questions of our nervous system. Where's ease? What happens to ease?
Mm,
And one of the things she'll say, which I find so helpful, is you're accepting it. Imagine that it's coming towards you, ease, right? But I
mm,
think a lot of things are like that. I think you accept joy. You don't even necessarily have to create it. You just don't push it away. If joy is love of life, by staying in a frame of gratitude,
mm-hmm.
you are inviting joy to stay.
Yes. Yeah. I um I have to acknowledge myself in that. Like, um, I could be having the most, like, am I allowed to say shitty?
It's your channel. You can decide what you're going to say. Warning, warning, warning. Well, apparently that was the word for it, so go ahead.
Right? And just like in my blah, right? Like, what can be disempowering. But yet, I notice the most beautiful things around me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even try to.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one of the things that I'm grateful for about myself
Mm-hmm.
as the observer of myself, right? I am grateful that Wanda, right, can do that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That you have the capacity to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think because as the observer of myself, because I do acknowledge myself when I do notice the beauty around me, like the
Yeah.
little things
Mm.
that builds momentum, right? It's like what Julio says to us, it's joy is a muscle,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that we have to work on. And I get to experience more of it.
Joy is a muscle. So is joy ours or are we receiving joy? That's such a good question. Am I
Well, it's all
generating
like,
it or am I accepting it?
well, I mean, it's all around us. Joy is all around us, but we have to be we have to notice, right? So we
Get
have
out of
to
the
be
way of it.
what?
Get out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let it be
And
there. Yeah.
we have to change the lens,
Mm,
you know.
absolutely.
And this work, the ontology work, shows us how to do that,
Yeah.
right? To see with new eyes, to listen with new ears, to listen in new ways. That's what I should say,
Mm-hmm.
in new ways. And
Impacts belonging because if you're going to go with your old definitions, you're going to miss places you belong.
yeah, so we miss out on possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
So, like with our work, especially with the listening, when we're listening for, I don't know if it's the optimism in me that, like, naturally, right? Being optimistic, but I always listen for the possibility. I always listen for the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the reason why, you know, my some of my family members don't like me because I was like, why are you stuck in that?
Oh yeah. Yeah. My husband's a therapist, and part of the reason he's good at what he does is his special gift is knowing that one thing you don't want to talk about and asking you a question about it, which makes him a great therapist, but it makes him really rough at cocktail parties. Like, yeah. Yeah. So as we, all of the world traditions, all of the different religious traditions, cultural traditions around this time of year. And when I say this time of year, it's cold on one half of the planet and hot on the other. Um, so when I say this time of year, I think I mean everyone's culture has a time of pausing. So in the US, it's the time between Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, right? And there's supposed to be a pause. And we layer in all of these expectations, which means that you're doing the opposite of pausing. You're trying to manage your regular life, the one that you were doing in September and August, and you now have to go Christmas shopping and you have to wrap presents and you have to put a tree up and you have to decorate and you have to have that big party and you have to and all of those things came from beautiful ideas of sharing and showing people that you care about them. But I think it's really important to make sure that that's still what they're doing for you.
What do you mean? Who's doing for who?
That those activities that you're engaged in
Oh,
are
okay.
actually celebratory, are actually loving, are actually joy-filled.
Yeah. And you're not doing it out of obligation,
Yeah.
right?
And some obligations not bad. I mean, I made Thanksgiving dinner because my husband and my son love it, and my mother-in-law. And if it'd been left to me, I probably wouldn't have made a meal that elaborate. So I decided to be loving and make something that they really like, that I know how to make. So it's not that everything you're going to do for Christmas should be all about you. It's, are you doing it with enough intention that it stays a gift? That it doesn't. if it tips into resentment, it stops
Hmm.
being a gift.
Hmm. Yes. Yeah.
So maybe as I open my advent calendar in the morning, maybe I could ask myself a question along the lines of what is the gift in today? Or how will I give joyfully today? Not sacrificially, not with resignation or resentment. What is the place where giving comes from joy and remains in joy
Mm.
today? I like that.
And
I
what
just
if you
took
do?
my mother-in-law to the library. That's so easy. Like
Mhm.
that makes her happy and it's important. And I get some books. I got 2 bags of books to go look through. Win-win. Um, I could get all bound up in I don't have time for that and it would lose the generosity in it, the love in it.
Mhm. But what happens if you don't want to do anything for anybody and you just want to be in
I think that
holiday?
if you are in that place and in that mood, then the gift you're giving is not being around people.
You're giving to yourself.
No, you're giving it to them. If my choices are not being around you or being around you when you're resentful and unhappy, you being anybody, not you. Like I'd rather be away from someone than be the focus of their ire because they're tapped out and they're overwhelmed and they shouldn't be doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
So setting boundaries and tapping out could be considered a gift. It probably won't be received as a gift, but I think you know yourself well enough to know, people know themselves well enough to know I'm doing the world a gift by not being present today. I'm hiding in the back of my closet because I'm giving the world a gift by not being present today.
And a gift to yourself as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So that I can renew, so that I can refresh, so that I can be giving again, be loving again.
Yeah, and you don't want to be around people that are not loving you.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of family dynamic that gets set off that sometimes doesn't even have anything to do with you,
Yeah.
but it results in bad things.
Hmm.
Other people's trauma from somewhere else, and you become
The punch bag.
the
And I mean,
recipient. Right,
yeah.
right, right. And so you
What
might be
did you
giving them
what
the
did you
gift.
call it?
You what? The recipient? What?
Recipient.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
like the
recipient.
doormat, the punch bag.
So if you have someone in your life whose trauma is activated by a certain thing, and you do not place yourself in the way, you're giving them the gift of not having to be regretful later that they treated you a certain way.
Very beautiful.
It's interesting. I have to think, I said it out loud. I think it's true. I have to sit with it for a little bit, but I think there is something in that it's not that it's not victim blaming. It's not, but man, when people have known patterns and they do the same thing every year for the same holiday, and you keep showing up and letting them have this horrible experience that eventually breaks down the relationship completely,
Mm.
somebody has to say this isn't good and stop it. And it's probably not going to be the person who's lost in the pattern.
Very smart.
I don't know. I'm scared of what that might end up that how that might play out in people's lives. But again, we talked about expectation, and I've been watching a lot of content about adult children going no contact. And there's so much pushback, mostly from abusive parents who think it's their right. And the thing that's been so interesting to me is the people who are objecting to that, to children, to grown children going no contact, The message tends to be something along the lines of, but I'm your mother or I'm your father. I'm owed this. I think you can be owed respect, but not owed love. You can be owed the dignity of your position as a parent without, but I think that's where it ends. I don't think you're owed anything by anybody unless I give you, like if I say, yeah, when I married my husband and I made vows, I now owe him things because I chose to make those vows, right? I entered into a social contract. And so there's a balance due from me, right? Of a certain level of care and consideration. I felt the same way when I became a parent that I owe my child things, don't always execute flawlessly, being a flawed human being, but saw my job very clearly as my job is to help you become you and get out of the way, right? So, um, the holidays don't let you, a lot of the holiday messaging demands things of people that they haven't actually agreed to.
Yeah, because some people, you know, they want to give, not because they're giving from a place of sincere, but it's coming from a place of guilt.
Could be guilt, could be their own sense of duty, it could be a sense of control. Like sometimes when you give, I noticed with me, I one of the phases of learning and growth for me was understanding that I would be quick to give so that I didn't have to share. So if I'm busy telling you or helping you or being like, then maybe you won't notice I'm messy back here.
Mm.
So um being friendly so that I don't have to actually be a friend. I don't know, something like that. There's something like that. So yeah, what's the motive for the giving?
Now we're getting raw.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So it's
I mean, I'm
right?
playing with all, to be clear, I am playing with all of this right now. I'm not really sure. I'm hearing myself say things, and I think it bears a lot of thought. And I think we all have to make our own decisions about where duty lies, where, we don't choose everything in our lives. And we do have responsibilities and duties, but how do we live those out well? We didn't choose our parents, we didn't choose our siblings. So what are we going to do with that? We have a lot of choices to make. And the last thing, this is something I will say. The last thing we all need to be doing is worrying about whether other people are honoring their parents or their siblings without knowing we don't live in their lives. The content that I've been watching around parent children going no contact. Everybody's so quick with an opinion. And you don't know. You don't know what that child has experienced. You don't know what that adult is
They
that
got an opinion because they're uncomfortable with the situation.
yeah, oh, big time. And they're afraid it's going to happen to them, or they're afraid that if they decide to do something, it won't be well received, or whatever side they come down on. But it is really interesting, like the court of public opinion about something that's so intensely personal as your relationship with your parent or your child. People are so quick.
Yeah.
So we go back to, what is the most joyous gift that I can unwrap today for myself or for others?
Well, yeah. And I think over the holidays, um, I mean this is a big investment for me, like, opening up this holistic center.
Hmm.
Um, so it limits me with money, right?
Yeah.
And it looks
And
like,
time and focus.
yeah,
You only have so much energy as a human being.
yeah,
So where are you placing it? Yeah.
yeah. And I've already said, like I don't think I'll be doing the Christmas giving, Christmas gifts, right?
Ooh.
And and I was actually talking to my minister. about it. And he said, well, that's not really what it's about anyway, right? Because it's about
Not
the
in the
love.
scripture.
And when I was in Dubai one time, I spent Christmas there, and one of my friends came over to visit me. She and her husband, and they're from India. And I had gifts for them, and I gave them their gifts, and they said, "We're not giving gift giving this Christmas. We're just giving love." Right? And I thought it was the most amazing thing ever, you
It could
know?
be, or it could be an excuse. So if it sounds like they did it the amazing way, and then there's a way where you could do that and it would be terrible. I love that. We're
Yeah,
just giving love.
giving love. But I it was so nice. I thought it was so beautiful.
Hmm.
Um, but I think I'm gonna do, the volunteer things again.
You lit up when you were talking about it. That sounds
Yeah,
really good.
yeah.
And there's so many opportunities. There's being with people on Christmas, but there's also like going and helping out in a an animal shelter because the people who work there need to be with their families. Or
Mm.
there's you could think very creatively about who you could volunteer with and what opportunity that provides for somebody else.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wow.
I love that.
One of the things that I'm going to be giving throughout, starting next week, I would like to share the past 11 episodes of our season.
That sounds good. Yeah,
Yeah, so I
just
was
post them
thinking
up.
of like reposting them on
Smart.
Facebook and LinkedIn, like two
Hmm.
a week.
That
Okay.
sounds like a really good way to, yeah, from here through the end of the year.
Yeah,
And just, yeah, I love that. That's a
yeah,
great idea.
yeah.
We've had some amazing conversations this season with
Yes, we
other
have. It's been
people.
so much fun.
It has. It
And
really has.
a
And
lot
as
of
you can tell, like I brought up Karen today, a lot of what we talked about keeps surfacing for me and showing up, like the things that we've talked to with Bob and with
Mhm.
Julio and Veronica, like it
Yeah.
just shows up
Hmm.
inside of the room. So yeah, yeah, good. Share them again. People need that. We'll benefit from that.
That's my gift. That's my
I
gift
like that. That sounds
to the
good.
ontological world. Our
The ontological world.
conversations.
There
Yeah.
you go. I like it. Awesome. Well, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
Yeah. Happy depths of winter
Uh-huh.
or
Do you,
summer if
do
you're
you
on
know
the other
why
side of the
we have
planet.
all these holidays? Right? Because Jesus wasn't born in December, right? Jesus was,
No,
was
no.
actually born in the spring, in April. That's what they say.
Hmm.
But all these religions have all these holidays because December, this month, is like the darkest month of the year. And in that darkness, we need light.
People crave light.
Yeah. So that's why there's so many events
And
happening.
in an agrarian society, December is the only time you have to sit and think. Aside from taking care of animals, which don't stop, needing to be milked or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, every other time of the year for farm families is just sun up to sundown. And then in the winter, you can sit and mend your tools and you can, quilt something for next year or whatever. But it's that pause to think about, well, wait, what are we doing and what do we want to do?
Hmm. And you and I have to think about that too. We have three
Yeah, we do.
minutes left. 3 minutes left
So
for
stay
our
tuned,
talk
everybody. We'll be announcing what we come up with later.
in the new year.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna just sit and ponder and be in
See what
peace
happens.
and reflect and be in joy.
Take a nap. That's
Take
where I am. I'm tired. It's been a long day. I'm gonna take, I should not take a nap at 6:30. That's a bad idea, but it's what I want to do.
and even be in gratitude of the family dynamics as well, the
Yep.
beauty of that and
The
what comes up
messiness.
in
Yep.
us, in the
All the messy.
emotions. What?
All the messiness of
All the
other people.
messiness, yes, the emotions around that,
Hmm.
and just being the observer of ourselves in that,
Yeah,
and because you'll see the beauty. You,
absolutely.
yeah,
All the beautifully imperfect people in our lives,
yeah,
including us,
yes.
especially us.
Mhm.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you in the new year.
See you in the new year.